Rewards also fail to teach a child a new skill, and here's the reason. If we think about a child missing a skill, they don't have the ability to do what we're asking, no reward is going to teach them to do that. And they have the same effect when you're working with your own children. If you promise your child a reward for good behavior or acceptable behavior, and he's missing a skill, no matter what the reward is, he's not going to be able to reach that goal. And so it sets him up for frustration, and it sets you up for frustration too. When I was a young teacher, I was drilled with behavior modification. We were taught if we could control the environment, we could control behavior, and rewards and punishments were a big part of that. So as a young teacher, I decided I was going to take a summer job in an inner city mission. And the first week of school was horrible. I had no idea how to manage this classroom. There were big behaviors that I had never experienced before, and I didn't know what to do. I knew I didn't want to be harsh, and I knew I didn't want to punish, so I went to rewards. And I want to talk about this because I want to demonstrate how it didn't work. What I did was I filled my pockets with goldfish crackers. And anytime a child wasn't hitting or kicking or throwing something, I threw a cracker at them. And I look back at that time with embarrassment because I realized not only did I treat those children like trained seals, I failed to teach them any usable skills. I taught them when the teacher's looking, do what you're supposed to be doing. And when the teacher's not looking, go back to doing whatever you want. They didn't leave that program with any lasting skills. They didn't leave with anything new in their toolbox. And so what I did with trying to use crackers to motivate them was I set up this idea that, first of all, it is important to please me. It's important for me to see you doing the right thing. I'm the important thing here. The other thing that I set up for those children was this idea that your value or your worth comes from somebody else's opinion. It comes from something outside you. It can come from something as small as a cracker, but somebody has to give you something in order for you to be worthy or valuable. What I wish I had known is that I could have taught those children to regulate their own thoughts, feelings, and actions if I would have had better skills. If I would have learned to see that rewards were not going to teach them skills they didn't have. In fact, they were going to only teach them to do what they thought I wanted them to do when I was looking. We're going to go back to thinking about conflict or behavior as an opportunity to teach a new skill. When you have that moment and you think, oh, this child did not just do that. He did. So what are you going to do about it? How are you going to use that moment to teach your child a new skill? So instead of looking at that child and thinking he should not be doing that, or I'm not going to allow him to do that, or that behavior needs to be squashed like a bug, look at that child and ask yourself, what skill is he missing? What is this behavior communicating? And how can I teach him what I want him to do instead?